How are we doing, people? Welcome back to another video. You'll have to excuse the fact that if you look over my shoulder there's already rods in the water. That's because I'm 3/4 of the way through the session, looking at my clips and like, there is no intro, so apologies. This is now the intro. I'm on the A1 pits. I've chosen pit 6. The weather has eased off massively compared to well, you'll see what I've been through to get to where I am now. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in. Hope you enjoy, and yeah, thanks for the continued support. So I've decided to come up this corner purely because I've just spoke to Pete the bailiff, and I said, look mate, I'm gonna do one of my vlogs. I'm gonna go on pit 6. I think I fished on here once, maybe 5-6 years ago, maybe longer than that. So I've never had a fish out of here, and I've had one session on here, which I believe was over that area where the bailiffs sort of their caravans and bits are, near the point, I think it's called, over there. Never had a fish out of here. I've looked over that side and it looks horrendous in the wind. I said to him, where would you go? I've got 10-foot scopes, because bear in mind, people, I don't even fish 12 foots, let alone long range 12 foots, and I'm coming on a 56-acre pit in the depths of winter, which is probably a really stupid move on my part, but it would be really, really lovely to get one out of here. He's told me, get off the deck, don't bother sitting on the deck. It hasn't done bites off the deck, they've all fell to zigs, and it hasn't done a bite since Tuesday. I've turned up, it's now Sunday lunchtime. So yeah, I am really, really against it. It could, like I say, it's probably a stupid move even setting up and coming on here on my part, but I've got 3 or 4 nights, I don't have to stay here. We're going to do 24, see how it goes. We're most likely going to be fishing maybe 2 zigs and 1 on the deck, just to try and go against the grain. But you'll see the wind is absolutely smashing along. You can see the ripples and the wind lines. I'm just going to let the rain finish off, sit here for a bit, and then I'll get set up and I'll bring you back, because I can't really show you anything setting up wise of the shelter, etc., because it's too windy. I'll bring you back for a rod setup and casting out. Managed that so far. I'll see you inside. Made it in the bivvy. Must be absolutely mental, pissing down a savage wind. I think as it stands, I am the only daft sod to be on pit 6 now. You can see in the background the bivvy's rattling around. I don't know what that little wave was. Yeah, madness. But I'm here, I'm having a go. We're going to give it 24, see what happens. If it's no good on here tonight and tomorrow, or today, tonight, tomorrow I should say, I'll probably pack up and I'll move on the river. I've got, like I say, I've got 3, maybe 4 nights, so there will be A1, basically A1 pits videos will be the next videos coming out for a while. But yeah, I'll spin you around and show you my view. So that doesn't look too bad now from in here. It's when the wind, them gusts comes through, it just sweeps across the lake, do you know what I mean? It's just crazy. But it has turned to a crosswind now. It was behind me when I got here, now it's coming across me, sort of thing, from left to right. So you'll see, look at that, look. It is absolutely savage. Even the bloody ground sheet keeps lifting up. Look at it. Oh dear. Things you do to try and catch a fish, eh? But yeah, the crosswind's going to make it easier casting the zig out, because it stops it tangling, doesn't it? Pushes it away from the lead. And over that far bank, I don't know if my phone will pick it up. Look at it, you can see it lapping up the actual side there where it's crashing into it. Anyway, let me get some rods on rest, etc., and I'll bring you back for, yeah, basically what we're chucking out. Well, you see I'm sat here in my chesties. I've had to get in the water to get my bank sticks in. I've got to try to fish my tips down today because of the wind and etc., and I fish the opposite. I always fish my tips up, which I'm going to do a little video on that, because a few people have actually asked, why do you fish them up? So I'll make a little video just explaining that, so if you want to see you can, if you don't, you don't. But I'm going to spin you around now and show you the most horrendous setup in my opinion ever. It looks awful, it's unbalanced, it's unlevel, the tips are the wrong way for me, but it's going to do a job. Well, if I get fish it will do a job, if not I'm just going to pack it all up tomorrow and move. But yeah, let me spin you around and show you the horrendousness. Well, you see, wind's eased off. Look at it, it's absolutely savage down there. But that is horrific. Awful. Look at it. Everything's the wrong way. Should be the reels down and the tips up. See, the rain's eased off, but yeah, it's horrific. I actually think I'm mad just even being here, let alone thinking I might catch something. There's absolutely no chance. I don't know if you can hear that. That's like, that's the shelter. Let me take you outside a minute. Look at it now. So I can't have that. Right, let's get back in here. Let's get back in here. We're back in here. Right. I'm going to bring some rods up. I'm going to have to put you on the tripod in here, and I'll just show you the zigs that are going out. It's nothing exciting, and I'll get the rods out, and that's it. Because the sooner it gets dark and I can't see that down there, the bloody better. Right. Hopefully you can hear me. If not, I'll do another clip inside the bivvy. Just want to point out, on my reels, I'm using the old Corda long chuck tapered main line, because on pit 6, pit 5, you must have a shock leader. It is compulsory. And I have done a video on this stuff because I don't tie leader knots very well. I don't trust them. This is a fuse leader, so it's £30. So the casting end is £30. A couple of rod lengths down, it fused down to £15, but it's quite a thin £15, so it goes quite a long way. So that's what I'm using. And as always, I've got my hybrid lead clip, 3.5 ounce distance lead. And instead of a tail rubber, I've got just a small piece of silicone mud sleeve that I use all the time. So just wet that, slide it on just enough to take the cast, and then when you get a bite without a rod hitting you in the head, fish shakes its head and the lead is gone. On the hybrid lead clip you get a ring swivel. I've cut that off and put a what they call a multi-purpose quick clip. I'll show you in a moment why I've done that, but I'll get my lead on and then I'll get a zig tied on, and then we'll actually get our rod out. Right, so the first zig is about 10 feet and it's just blowing everywhere. I've just got one of the black Thinking Angler Zigger liners jobbies on, and to the other end of the zig I've tied one of the link loops again, and that's what the little mud sleeve's for. Just chuck that zig out of the way, the wind will keep it away. It's exactly what it will do in flight. So now, that quick clip I've just shown you, the link loop, you put it on, so it's on like that, and then you just slide the mud sleeve back up so it can't come off. Can't come off on the cast. The lead can, because I've just pulled that off easy, as you'll see. So we'll put the lead back on. Get that back on there. God, it's cold as well, you know, just push that on enough. So we're fishing, yeah, that's about 10 feet. So I'm going to get my little plate out, or a bucket lid or something, because the water's too deep to wade out to throw it in. I think it is. I'm going to have a look actually, and then we'll get a rod out. But I want you to pay attention to the way I'm putting the rods out. It's very, very important how I'm casting in. And after I've got all the rods in, I will show you what, I explain to you why. So right on cue, the rain's come down. This time on the older Zigger liner, I've got a black and a red. Still a black kicker, but a black and a red this time. Again, 10 foot long. That's going to be the middle rod. You'll see up to now I've got 2 rods out. The left one, that can wait until the rain eases a minute. If it does, if it doesn't in the next 20 minutes, half an hour, I'll just get it in. But while I'm sat here in the bivvy, I'll just take the time to say to you, look, again, thanks very much for watching and commenting, liking. Thanks very much to all you subscribers for subscribing. If you haven't, please consider it. It's free, it doesn't cost you nothing. And especially thanks to those of you that regularly interact on like most of my videos. I see the same people commenting, giving an opinion or congratulations or condolences, depending how the session's gone. But yeah, it is massively appreciated. And the sub numbers are going up and up and up. Every video I put out, they go up and up and up, which in this wind, this bloody shelter could go up and up and up any minute. But yeah, I just want to say a massive thanks as always, because I'm genuinely grateful. But for now, I'm just going to sit here. Jesus. might be casting out to Wyoming sheltering if it gets any stronger, but it's cold as well. It's meant to be a mild spell. It's not mild here, it's definitely not, but it's going to be a windy night, isn't it? But I'm going to sit here and we'll get the last rod out, and then I'll just run you through why I've put them out in the way I've put them out. But some of you watching this, you'll already know, but there'll be a lot of you that when I tell you why I've done it that way, you won't, and you'll think, yeah, that makes sense. So let me get the last rod out and I'll bring you back. Right, so for the last rod, I've got a fluorescent glow-in-the-dark kicker. This is an aluminous one, and I've got a black and a yellow foam barrel on this one. So this will be the left rod now. Right, that's all three out. I've just had someone telling me he's on pit 6 with me, Paul. Shout out Paul for messaging while I'm doing a clip. He's on pit 6 as well. Good man, you crazy bastard. That's 2 of us then. But yeah, right, rods. Let's get on that now. There's a reason I've put the rods out the way I've put them out. Some of you are already going to know what I'm now going to say. Others of you that don't, I hope you use this in the future, because it really, really will benefit you a lot. If you ever fish in a crosswind, any kind of rains, you always start downwind and work your way up. So what I mean by that is that's why the right hand rod went out, because the wind is blowing from left to right as I'm looking out my door. The way you've looked at the rods, that is going left to right. So I've started downwind because it will put a bow in the right hand rod. Because when you cast out in the crosswind, you can't help but get a bow, but the bow will bow away from you. So if you put your left hand rod out first, you can put such a bow in it if you're not careful, if you don't tighten up or you try to fish any kind of slackness, that when you cast your middle and right hand rod out, you've cast straight over your own line straight away. So you've already tangled yourself before you start. So that is why in a crosswind you always start downwind and work your way up, because of the bow situation. If you get a take, now if I've got a take on the middle rod, to be honest, I wouldn't bring the left hand rod in, because it's already tightened, it's already fishing, it's not got a bow in it. I know I haven't got a bow in it, but if I wound them all in and put them all out, I would put them all out in the exact same order that I've just done it, as you've seen. And that is the reason why, basically. So I'm going to go get this shelter sorted out, get a cuppa on, because it's absolutely pissing freezing, and hopefully I'm going to bring you back to the fish. Well, what am I even saying? I don't even feel like there's a chance of catching a fish, but these are the sessions where it happens, when you're sitting here thinking, what are you doing? This is madness. You never know, dear. I reckon in darkness, if we're going to get something, it's going to be in the dark. So no doubt I'll be down there, slid down on my arse with a wet foot at the end of it, if so, but it'll be worth it, won't it? Anyway, kettle time. I've still not put the kettle on yet. It's just dawned on me. I've just told a lie on this vlog without realising. I said I've only ever fished over that bit once. Did I? Last year I done 48 hours on the A1 bank. I forgot I did them. I didn't catch anything. Funnily enough, I was fishing zigs there as well. But yeah, I've done. So this will be night 4 then. That'll be my 4th night I've ever done on the pit, not my 2nd. So yeah, apologies. Not intentional, but yeah, I'll Billy bullshit here. Never mind. Right, now I'm having a cup of tea. That's a very welcoming sign. A steaming kettle and a nice coffee. And to have with that, we have this time, thanks to the Happy Picker, shout out to you, my friend, the white ones. He watched my other video and he said, no, them gold ones are lovely, but you got to try the white. So we'll try the white ones. But yeah, I better turn that off and get that coffee poured. Cheers all. And if these are no good, Mr. Happy Picker, you owe me £2.25, because that's what that packet cost. Can't believe I paid that for a packet of biscuits, but never mind. Because I say, I've got another jumper on, you'll see now, it's absolutely freezing. Where this mild spell's gone, I don't know. If anyone's been here Friday and Saturday, I hope you've had a warmer stay than I'm having so far, because it's pissing freezing, but you never know. Depth wise, I've gone for 10-foot zigs. I did chuck the leads out roughly in the zones where I've not marked up or chose a spot in particular. I've just chucked them out at a sensible range for me. And I reckon, at a guess, I'm fishing 20 feet, maybe 22. I don't know. If any of you sort of know the peg I'm in, and you've fished here, you'll kind of know the depths. But yeah, it feels deeper than what I was fishing at my levels video. So I reckon I'm mid to just below mid water on all three. Who knows? I can't imagine the fish are in the top layer with this wind. It's cutting across so cold, and I can't imagine that's sat right on the bottom. So I've got to be somewhere in the right vicinity if I'm where there is any fish. But for now, I'm gonna drink my coffee and yeah, they're all right then. Have my biscuits. So yeah, cheers all. So wind's definitely got up, 45 to 47 mile an hour gust it says on my weather app thing, and then it's going to drop off through after about midnight. It's going to drop down to about 30, so still windy but not as bad as it is now. But the old bivvy's doing well, can't knock it. It's definitely holding up and it's proper taking the brunt of it. I think there's one other person over the far corner that I can see. So as it stands, I believe there's 2 of us on for tonight. Paul, who was in the corner to my left, I think he's gone now because the gates are pretty much on closing time. And another bit of a gust. So yeah, there might just be 2 of us on tonight. But rods wise, I'm doing nothing with them. I'm not moving them. If they go, they go. If they don't, they don't. I think if I'd have put 3 rods straight out on the deck, I was going to blank from the off. Pete said, don't go on the deck. It's not doing bites on the deck. You've got to be up in the layers to catch them at the minute. That's it. That's sound advice. I mean, the bailiffs are sound here. They're really, really good bailiffs. What I like the best is, if you want help, they'll give you help. But if you don't want to help, you just want to come through the gate, do your own thing, be left alone, they'll just come around, get your money for your ticket, and you don't see them again. Whereas if you said, oh mate, where do you reckon, what would you do, sort of, where do I want to be going, how do I want to be approaching it, they'll help you the best they can. It doesn't mean you're going to catch something, but they'll give you the best chance because they know what's going on, you know. So that is why I've gone out with 3 zigs. If any of you have watched my other videos, like I said, I've not done a lot of zig fishing at all. I'm still not overly confident with it, even though I have caught using them now. I'm not a massive 100% confident fan in them, but if I caught one on this session, then that's it, it's sealed it, you know. Yeah, that would be 100% confidence then to catch in this condition from this pit at this time of year in the depth of water I'm fishing. Yeah, that would seal it, but who knows, we shall see. But anyway, I'll bring you back if anything exciting happens. If not, it'll probably be for food time. Just before I make me food, I just want to point out something to people who are not aware. Waders, when you wade out in the water, always take a pole with you to start with, and push the pole down in front of where you're going to step to check for depth, because if you go over the top of your waders and they fill up with water, you're going down with them basically. It's very, very dangerous. So I've never been in this spot before on the peg, so with my bank stick I was doing that, trying to find where it was deeper and where it was shallow. Literally where they are, if I'd have gone 2 foot forwards, I'd put them under the water and my hand disappeared. So that would have been me in trouble there. So yeah, just if you're new to wading and you've not done a lot of it, just be very, very careful and always take a pole. At night I don't need to get in the water to get back to my rods because I can reach them from the bank. That's why I've positioned them exactly where they are. But if you go out at night to wade for a fish, make sure you leave a pole permanently in the lake so you can see that pole as your do not pass this mark, so you don't get yourself in trouble at night, because it's very easily done, and it's very dangerous. But that's why some places don't allow you to wade, because it can be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. But just be very, very mindful when you're out in the water with waders, because if they fill up with water, it doesn't matter how good a swimmer you are, they weigh a lot, and they vacuum around. You can't just take them off. That doesn't work like that. So yeah, hopefully that stops anybody getting in trouble in future sessions. So yeah, right, I'm gonna get on with my food now. Tonight's food is a butternut chicken and pilau rice. 2 or 3 of you said you don't need 2 pans to cook it. I totally forgot until I've started cooking it and thought, shit, I could have done it in one. So apologies on that. And one of you was a chef. So yeah. But on the note of being a chef, if you do need help with overdone sausages, burgers, steaks for your clients and that, I can sort you a reasonable rate out. I've got years of experience. Pretty handy at burning stuff, so if you ever need any help, yeah, let me know. But for now, I'll lift you up and we'll just have a little look at not a lot. So I'm going to carry on cooking that, get that eaten, washed up, and I'll most likely see you when it's dark. That's it, we're going into the night now. The light's fading very, very quickly now. The weather's exactly the same as it's been all afternoon. I've got about another 6 or 7 hours of this yet to come. I'm actually tucked up in my bed. Zoom down there, you can see there's no feet in my boots because I'm in my bag. It's absolutely freezing. So there's not a lot else I can do really. I'm not going to hear anything in the night with this wind. It's soon going to be too dark to see anything, apart from that train going across there in the background. So really I'm just going to lay back and relax and enjoy being here. And just, if a rod goes off, fantastic. If it doesn't, I'm not going to be disappointed because I'm expecting it not to anyway. So I can only really win from this session. There's nothing to lose because I don't expect to catch anyway. So it's only a win-win. So if something happens during the night, I will definitely let you know. And if it doesn't, I'll most likely see you in the morning. So it's gone proper dark now. All you can see is the traffic up and down the A1. I've got some rods down there, you can just about make them out, I think. Yeah, it's a proper dark night. But I'm going to get myself in me, well, I'm already in my bag. Just got out just to check everything. I've been around and checked my tent pegs, pushed them in, made sure none was loose, so I'll get a pull out during the night. That's a little tip. If you're fishing in the wind before you go to bed, make sure you always check your pegs and push them in at an angle. People push them straight down, straight. They can pull out, push them in at an angle. They stay in a lot better. So on that note, I'm going to say good night. Unless something happens during the night, I'll see you all in the morning. Well, that's my view for now. Don't know if you're here, but it's absolutely pissing down. Still getting gusts of wind come through, but the rain's definitely moved in heavily now. It's about 9 o'clock, 8:30 maybe. I should have looked at my phone before I've done this trip really. But I've just been looking out the bivvy door into the darkness, hoping that I see a purple light down there light up, because if I do, we're away. But I think for now I'm just going to get my head down for the night. If anything happens in the night, I will obviously vlog it and bring you back. But if it doesn't, I'll see you in the morning when it's daylight. Well, it's I've just looked, it's 2 o'clock. As you'll hear, the rain is still falling out of the sky. It's not stopped all night. What's it look like out there? Oh yeah, ground's pretty wet. Rods are down there doing sod all. But yeah, as you'll hear, it's still raining. It was meant to stop about 1 and it hasn't. Road's quite right down now. Apart from those flashing yellow lights down along there. I've just looked on the weather app, it says 3 o'clock now, so another hour they should stop, and then like I say, I'm going to give it until midday tomorrow on here, and if nothing's happened then I'm going on to the Trent, because yeah, 56 acres of 3 bits of foam floating around in mid-water is not filling me full of confidence, but at least I'm having a go. So I'm gonna just yeah, go back to sleep I think, and I'll see you in the morning. Well, it's morning. The rain has stopped finally. Wind's eased off as it's meant to. Rods have not rattled off, unfortunately, but there's still a few hours left. It's 6:30. I'm giving it till midday, so I've got about 5.5 hours left to catch a carp from the A1 pits, pit 6. That's loads of time. I'm just going to lay here and watch it get light, then get the kettle on, get some breakfast burning, and yeah, just hope one goes off really. It's definitely a different looking day today. I'm just trying to give you a perspective of just how big the lake is. Obviously you lot that fish here, you'll know, but yeah, it's quite a big bit of water. 56 acres or 58, I think it's 56. Yeah, there's the old morning commuters going to work. They look as horrendous as they did yesterday when I set them up. They've moved not an inch, not a millimetre in fact, let alone an inch. Trent Bank, look at it, nobody along that river whatsoever. Not a soul. I think there's a few down the bottom end, but I know my mate Sean, he's down the bottom end. That's where we're going to go today, but these have got a few hours left, but yeah, they're not going to do it, are they? But I can literally just get down to pick them up without having to get in the water if I do get a bite. Let's have a little wander. God, wow, I tell you, the ground's so slippery. Let's have a little wander and show you this way. The next peg. So you're quite far away really from one peg to the next, because look at that, you can chuck as far as you want on this pit, you're not going to hit the middle. Right, I'm going to quickly show the old sugar beet factory and then I'm going to go back in to get the kettle on. Oh yes, well needed. I'm sure there'll be people saying, oh, he's burnt the bacon. That's the only way to have your bacon. You've got to have crispy bacon. How people eat bacon that still squeals every time you bite into it is beyond me. So crispy bacon is an absolute must. Oh, that's better. A couple of nice bacon rolls with a bit of ketchup in it. You'll see, like, if I go, it's quite cold still. It's meant to be mild. I know we're in February, it should be cold, but yeah, it's meant to be like 10 degrees now. It's definitely not that. It's not been that the whole time I've been here. But I'm gonna have these, kettle's back on, I'm gonna get washed up, and then I'm gonna make a few of my little videos while I've got a few hours here and I'm sort of bivvy bound, I can't do much. I'm gonna make a few of my little videos. I know they're not interesting to a lot of people, but some people do watch them, and a couple of people I've got something out of them. So while I'm sat here waiting for a miracle bite to happen that I don't think is going to happen, I may as well make a few of those little ones. So just have a look through the channel, see if they're of interest, and if they are and they help you out, great, and if they're not of interest to you, you've not had to go through it in this vlog, have you? So yeah, everyone's a winner. Right, bacon time. That's something to take from the session. The grebe that's just been working this area pretty much where I'm fishing. It's in the line roughly, it's gone along in front of me. Sorry, excuse me, I'm halfway for a bacon roll. And it's been working that line that I'm in. So if the silverfish are here, maybe the carp are, I don't know. Could get a bite before I pack up, you never know. But there is a pair of them on here, and I see them doing their little like dancing where they're bobbing their heads up and down towards each other. So that's a good sign. Spring's on its way, isn't it? Well, that's been a long time turning up. Look at him not going through the bloody rods. Look, that's why I shouldn't have my rods set like that. Swans should not be able to do that on my rods. It's not a bloody goalpost. Let's give him a bread roll, shall we? Because I've got 10 and I definitely don't need that. Look, go on then, go in you go. See, that's wrong. That's why I should never have rods set like that, ever. Yeah, then you start hissing, you get sod all, you start hissing. Yeah, oi, you can have half as one the head, son. Go on. That's it. You can have a roll each, and then that's my good deed for the day done. Nothing else is biting. The old swans are, aren't they? I tell you, he's a big old one, and all that one. Look at the size of his neck. Chunky old bugger, that one. Right, I'm going to finish my coffee and let the swans have their breakfast. Well, I'm just sat here. I've just been making a couple of my little sort of review, educational kind of videos. So they'll be out maybe before this is, who knows. Have a look through the channel, there's a few different things. But they'll most likely be the Wednesday videos, because I'm going to struggle to get out on the bank every week and give you 2 in-session videos a week. So you'll definitely get one on a Saturday, but you might get an educational one on a Wednesday, I don't know. But I've got about 2 hours of the session left. Nothing even looked like it's going to happen, to be honest. But then I haven't fished through this time period. Yesterday I got here at around midday-ish, and it was maybe 2 o'clock before I got my rods in. It's now just gone 10, so I'm going to hang it out till midday and then get packed down, and we're going to get ourselves over on the Trent and do a bit of barbling. So the next vlog will be back on the Trent for the barbel, so hopefully you'll join me for that. But for now, I'm going to sit here, try and do a couple more little educational videos if I can, and just hope that a rod goes off whilst I'm trying to film something else. That, you never know, that could bring a fish on. But I don't regret my choices for this at all. I'm happy I've come on the pit. It's been a proper windswept, windy session. I'm quite happy that I've put 3 zigs out. I've listened to the bailiff's advice. At the moment it's not paid off, but he was quite open and said it's not done a bite since Tuesday. I mean, it's now Monday, so this will be 6 days since this lake's done a bite. So for me to turn up and think I'm going to have it away was never in my mind anyway. And 1 bite would have been very, very fortunate, but unfortunately that's not materialised. So I apologise. There's a lot of talking in this vlog. Not much has really happened. That's how the session's gone. It's a genuine vlog, as they all are. So appreciate if you got this far. But anyway, I'll bring you back when it's either packed down or show you a picture of a fish. You never know. Sadly, the bivvy down means this section is near enough at an end. The rods have done nothing. Look at the curl though on those ones that go into the right. They're fish proper tight, so if anything was there or hit my line, I would have known about it. None of them have pinged out the clip exactly how I set them up about 24 hours ago or 22 hours ago. Never mind. It's a big weather front moving back in. We've got a lot more rain coming, so I'm going to get my waders on, get those rods back out, get the van packed, and say cheerio to you. In actual fact, while the phone's in my hand, I'm going to say cheerio now. The rods have not moved. I'm literally going to get them packed and gone. But I want to say thanks for watching. Sorry there's been no fish. It's been a genuine vlog again. I've given it a go. Against the odds, it didn't pay off. But I'm going to go over there now onto the Trent, and we're going to have a go for some of the big barbel that are coming out. So hopefully you'll join me for that. But if you don't, I'll see you next time. I'm back on the pits because we're going to be doing quite a bit here this year. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Until next time, laters.